Well, Kansas City just got a big weapon back, and I think this is a good thing for them. But what's going on, guys? My name is Antonio, and this is the AAS All Around Sports. I'm your host, Antonio. Today, we are going over the breaking news in Kansas City that happened a few hours ago. Kansas City has re-signed Chris Jones, one of their biggest weapons, to a 5-year, $95 million deal to stay with Kansas City to try to attempt something that no team has ever done, a three-peat. But the question is, what does this mean for the Kansas City defense? So, of course, before we get started, I am a Seahawks fan. I obviously rep the gear from when Kansas City and Seattle used to play in the same division. For those of you that don't know, Seattle used to play in the AFC. Now, I didn't know this when I was born until my mom told me back when I was younger. But for now, let's get this thing started. So, I think this is a good win for this team, for this Chiefs team, because Chris Jones, he is a big key player, and if they would have lost him, that would have been a big loss. But now they get him back. But now the primary question comes around L'Jarius Sneed. Do you keep him? Because, just to let you Kansas City fans know, L'Jarius Sneed's hit on Zay Flowers that forced the fumble into the end zone kind of reminded me of the Legion of Boom there for a minute. I'm just saying. It reminded me of the Legion of Boom. But, man, this is a big weapon for Kansas City, and I'm glad that they were able to recover him, because if you didn't, you would have looked at him going to, like, the Houston Texans or the Buffalo Bills or some other team around there, around the AFC, or potentially maybe the NFC, like the Lions. But now you have L'Jarius Sneed on your franchise tag currently. You could either trade him, or you could let him walk, or you could re-sign him. But that situation, I think, is going to be very talked about now that Chris Jones is signed. So L'Jarius Sneed, he's that next guy to try to attempt to get re-signed. But if I'm Kansas City, I would probably look to trade him, because you can get something good for what he's worth. You can get something good for what he's worth, like maybe another receiver. Not saying it's Metcalf, because Metcalf ain't going anywhere. But it could be like Jalen Waddle. It could be maybe like... It could be any receiver. Could be anything. But, of course, we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But the Kansas City Chiefs, I give them a slim chance. I'm not saying they're going to do it. I'm just saying, since it's never happened, I'm just saying that it's not out of the picture, but it is certainly a slim chance that they could do it. Slim. Now, the Chiefs have all the weapons. They have all the weapons they could possibly need on defense and offense. But Burrow is back, and he was the main kryptonite to your team 2 years ago when they beat you in the AFC Championship game. But this Kansas City team does, I believe, have two kryptonite in the AFC, which is Houston with C.J. Stroud, even though they haven't played yet, and Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Now, let me go over the reasons why. Joe Burrow and the Bengals, Joe Burrow was hurt, remember. And he was absolutely demolishing people. And he was absolutely annihilating my team. Remember, my team had a close match with them, which still probably should have won that, but if we made a few right decisions, but can't control what Pete Carroll does back at that time. That's number one. And then there's Stroud and the Texans. I think if these two meet up, it's going to be a battle, because Stroud has already turned into his own little player. He's already turned into a superstar. He's transforming the Houston Texans as we know it from being down at the bottom to maybe be in a contender again since the Deshaun Watson days. But this Kansas City Chief team, I am not saying they're not going to do a 3-peat because they certainly have the talent to. What I'm saying is that it is extremely rare that there's a 3-peat. It's very rare. And it's never happened in the NFL. We look around at other leagues, like the NBA, Michael Jordan, and the Chicago Bulls back in 1991 through 93. They went on 3 straight Super Bowl runs. 3 straight NBA runs. And then also along with like 1994 all the way down to 1997. They've done those 3-peats twice. And it's extremely rare for that to happen. You would need to have like a Michael Jordan. You would need to have like a Tom Brady, even though he's never done it. But remember, when Brady won his first 3 rings, he went the next decade without a Super Bowl ring. Do we see the same thing with Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes? I'm not saying it's going to happen, but past and history have had a little connection to this. And I do expect Kansas City to be back. I do expect that. But it is going to be very, very difficult to see them go back into the Super Bowl to do a 3-peat. Because it is just so hard to do. But anyways, that's my talk for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you're new. Turn on the notification bell for day-to-day updates on my videos and live streams. And I'll catch you all in the next one. So long for now.